Did you know in our culture the average length of two people gazing at each other is 2.95 seconds? If we fall short of that amount, people may think we are uninterested, shy, or even preoccupied. In this presentation, I will be discussing what eye messages are, what having eye contact with others versus having eye avoidance, also the variation with eye messages between gender, and lastly, I will discuss the messages your eyes send from looking in different directions. First, I will explain what eye messages are. They are nonverbal communication via the eyes, which is called oculesics. Oculesics shows that the duration, direction, and quality of eye movement communicate different messages. So, let's talk about your eyes. You stare with them, you wink with them, you roll them. You use your eyes to communicate your thoughts and feelings every day. Whether you're aware of it or not, your eyes can speak volumes about who you are and what you feel. Eye language is messages we send with our eyes. These eye behaviors could include rubbing the eyes, extended eye contact, averted gaze, or even eye shifts. Our eye messages can say a lot about us, revealing our emotions, confidence levels, and even at times if we are telling the truth. Our eyes can convey all sorts of messages, both intentionally and unintentionally. In the reading, The Eye of the Beholder, R. Miller discusses that our eyes are one of the most expressive parts of our bodies, even if we don't realize it. We can not only read the 6 basic emotions, sadness, disgust, anger, joy, fear, and surprise, but also over 50 different mental states such as curiosity, interest, dislike, or boredom in another person's eyes. A person's eyes are constantly speaking to others, along with sending messages. Next, I will talk about having eye contact versus having eye avoidance with others. We are all taught early on to look someone in the eyes when they're talking to us. It shows a sign of respect and shows you're listening, while holding a direct gaze makes people feel respected. If your gaze becomes a continuous, unrelenting stare throughout the conversation, it may signal to the other people that you're trying to assert your dominance. Liars look away? Not always. You've heard the old saying that a person who looks away is lying, but in most cases that isn't true. Research shows that eye contact you make while lying is partially determined by your personality. Introverts tend to have more trouble maintaining eye contact, while extroverts may go over the top and increase eye contact. The amount of eye contact you display can show how you feel about things. Eye contact can demonstrate attraction or attentiveness. One makes more eye contact with people and things they like, and less eye contact with things they don't like. Eye language makes us look at things that are new and interesting, especially faces, or look away from things we find distasteful. Now, I will touch on culture and gender with eye messages. Nonverbal communication is different from person to person and especially from one culture to another. Women, in contrast to men, require more eye contact while carrying conversations. This makes sense, right? Because women generally tend to use eye contact to build affiliation, while men also use it to exert power. Women make eye contact more and maintain it longer than men. From an ethnic perspective, Europeans as well as Hispanics have the greatest need for eye contact, and Africans reported the least need for eye contact during conversations. In the Western cultures, mostly consider eye contact to be a good gesture. It shows attentiveness, confidence, and honesty. In other cultures, such as Asian, Middle Easterns, and Native Americans, they do not take it as a good expression. It is taken as rude and an offensive expression. In the Eastern cultures, women should especially not have eye contact with men. It shows power or sexual interest. Some cultures, whereas gazes are taken as a way of expression. Staring is taken as rude in most cultures. In many Asian cultures, contact is seen as a sign of respect. In Ghana, if a young child looks at an adult in the eye, it is considered to be an act of defiance. Winking is a facial expression. In Latin America, for example, the gesture is often considered a romantic or sexual invitation. In Nigeria, parents wink at their children when they want them to leave the room, and the Chinese consider the gesture just to be rude. Lastly, I will discuss the messages your eyes send from looking in different directions. So what does the direction that someone is looking in tell us about what they're thinking or feeling? The thing to look out for is the direction they are looking. Looking straight ahead is good. Continuous looking without signs of looking away, often not as good, shows disinterest or lying. There is an exception for two people that are gazing that are deep in love. If a person is looking up and to the left, they are thinking about experiences and emotion. Just looking to the left is them remembering a sound. Looking to the right and up is when someone is remembering recent activities and thinking logically. If a person looks up, it means someone is doing careful thinking, weighing both emotions and logic. Or they could be saying, "Oh my goodness, really?" which isn't so good. When a person is constantly looking down, signals submission. It could also mean the person feels guilty, not wanting to face you, or generally disinterested. In conclusion, I have covered the essential concepts in understanding eye messages, from eye contact to eye avoidance, the differences between cultures and genders, to the messages your eyes send from looking in different directions. With all the new information, I hope you can have a better understanding of eye messages and see how others see things from different perspectives.
You're welcome.